everybody, it's Catherine from Jane Catherine on Books, and happy weekend, happy Sunday even. I'm here with a bit of a wrap-up of sorts of what I've been reading, and yeah, I'm having a bit of a dreadful reading month. I don't know, it's one of those. So the first one is The Rise and Fall of Jane by Corrie Garrett, and if you recall, this is one of my collection of retellings for Jane Eyre, and unfortunately I DNF'd it. A bit too, for me, a bit too modern. And that might sound ridiculous because I know often the retellings are more contemporary and are in the modern times, but I just wasn't enjoying the writing style. I think I've got to be honest with that. Yeah, without being overcritical, I didn't find it all that good for what I'm looking for in a retelling. I have read loads of retellings and really enjoyed them. So if you know of any really fantastic Jane Eyre retellings that you gave 4 or 5 stars to, will you let me know? Because I'm working my way through quite a few that aren't hitting the mark. Next, The Abyssinian Proof by Jenny White, and what I was telling you about in my TBR for April was this is the second book in the series by Jenny White, and it takes place in Constantinople in the Byzantine days, and this one's set in 1453. Now, I'm not saying I'm DNFing it, but I don't think I'm in the right frame of mind for this much detail. I loved the first one, The Sultan's Proof, but you do have to concentrate, and probably my concentration span is not back to normal yet for reading purposes. So I got to about 100 pages and I just wasn't feeling it. So because I enjoyed the other one so much and it was a 5-star read, I'm going to give it another crack, probably when my mind space is in a better place, I think, because I don't want to give up on this. She's an excellent author. And then I can't help but tell you about this gorgeous book by Rachel Joyce, Miss Benson's Beetle. Now, I do have to say, poor Harold Fry's been put into second spot. Oh dear, you're saying. Oh, poor Harold. This one has overtaken Harold Fry. And it's one of my all-time favourites, Harold Fry by Rachel Joyce. This is stunning. Absolutely stunning. And I like all her books. Some of them are 3 or 4 stars. Harold Fry, I think, was the only 5-star, and it was up there. But this is just, I don't know, it's sort of got everything you want in a book. It's quite slow paced, and I always tell you that her books are quite slow paced because she really wants you to immerse yourself with the characters. And I always say that she creates characters beautifully. You might not always like them, but they've got depth to them. You can imagine them as people that you know or you see in the street. And to me, that is a difficult thing to create, alongside a beautiful narrative that takes you on a bit of a journey, and also she often has a character in there, marginalised characters should we say, that on the edge of society Either they've got Asperger's, or I'm trying to think of the name of the one with the young man with Asperger's in. I can't think of it. I think I read it last year, can't remember. And they've got, they've got a place in our society. Everyone is equal in this society, but unfortunately in the westernised world we do have marginalised characters because of their mental illness or because of disability or something along those lines, and she picks them up and she puts them frontline and nearly centre in this case, because our two main characters in this are Miss Benson, and then we've got this such a funny character, Miss Benson. Enid, I couldn't think of her name then. Enid Pretty, and it's a bit like Laurel and Hardy going up the jungle, going up the Amazon. It's a bit like that. We've got Miss Benson. You have to feel for her as well, because she something happens in her early childhood. I'd be careful what I say, don't give it away. Something happens, and in a time where they didn't used to get counselling for children or help them professionally, and it sort of has had an impact on her, has an impact on all her relationships. She's not married, she's a school teacher, she doesn't like her job. She's let herself go a bit, she is overweight and unfit and really has a downer on herself. But she loved her father dearly, and they used to go around museums and look at entomology, and she really wanted to go and find this golden beetle. Now, whether this beetle truly exists or whether it was part of a fairy tale that her father used to tell her, we don't really know, but she decides that she's had enough of this humdrum life that she's living, and she's going to go on this adventure, sell everything she owns and go on this adventure. And she advertised for somebody to be her assistant, and there are two main people in the running for this post, and she chooses one, and that starts the story off. They go on this adventure, and very unlikely, I was going to say playmates then, but very unlikely jungle buddies, shall we say. We've got tall, thin Enid Pretty, very flirtatious, very flamboyant. She's one of these that she'll dye her hair every colour under the sun. She doesn't fit in either, really, for various reasons. And then we've got another character in here who didn't get the job, but plays a part in this whole scenario, this whole adventure. And I'll not say any more than that, really, apart from the fact that it makes you realise that we shouldn't judge people, I think, and we're human, we all do it, but people can suffer from experiences, either domestic abuse, domestic violence, death of a loved one in mysterious or horrific circumstances, or as a side for being in the military and everything that they see in the military. And we all know these things as PTSD now, and people can get help. But this is, if you imagine that there's no help for any of these characters, and off they all go on this journey to the remote part of wherever, La La Land. I know it's not La La Land, but you know what I mean. I can't think of the name. I'm sure I don't know if it's made up or not, to be honest. Doesn't say. Oh, it's New Caledonia, and it is real, David informs me. Shows what my geography's like. So, there's a lot about female friendship between unlikely characters. There's a lot about having one's back, you know, having been there to look after your friends and be there for them when they need you, or be there for other human beings even if you don't really know them that well. And I think this is the perfect book to have come out at the perfect time amidst all this madness that's happening in the world. And there's been a lot of good come out of the pandemic, and you know, in as much that people have started to communicate better, I think, and people help others, you know, have been helping others, volunteering in some way for the greater good. I sound like I'm doing a sermon, don't I? It's Sunday and you're getting your Miss Benson's Beatles sermon. Just love it. Just love it. You know, you can read it and read it and read it and always find something else. So sorry, Mr. Fry, Harold, you've gone down to second spot now. And actually, I wouldn't mind rereading that because it's a few years, and yeah, there's always something important that you come away from Rachel Joyce's work. I think she's fabulous. She's amazing. And this is just, I love this, the hardback. It's the only hardback I've got of hers. The others are all in paperback. But I fancy buying, I might have to buy Harold in hardback if he's still going in hardback. So there we go. Thought you'd just come on for a quick let you know what's been happening. I have got a two on the go on my Kindle that I'm working my way through. I'm reading Forever Interrupted, and the one, is it Carnations and Chaos or something like that, by London Lovett. I've started that. So hopefully I'll get those two done and I'll come back before the end of April. But yeah, I just can't believe that a couple of years ago I did a book a day in May. So that was 30 books I read in May. One about 2018 probably, I don't know. Might have been the year my mum died. And I just immersed myself in my books. I can't believe that I read a book, that 30 books in a month. I'm struggling to read 5 or 6 at the minute. So, thank you for joining me as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe and pass on the word, please. I think I'm 12 subscribers off reaching 1,000. 12! So please get your mates to log on or whatever. Spread the news. I've been working hard for 4 years to get to this 1,000 on here. And we're so close. We've been so close before, and then as soon as I say, oh please, we haven't got many left, everybody head for the hills. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this, like, subscribe, spread the word, and it's been great to have you here. Bye for now.